Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. This is episode 434 of the Ping Pong Flix Show. Let's get with a few DC updates before we get back to talking about the Snyder Cut, because this is definitely the Snyder Cut week. First up, this is from Discussing Film. Jamie Lawson will play a character named Bella in The Batman, who is described as a grassroots political candidate running for office in Gotham. In fact, there are some people have also said there's going to be a lot of political candidates running for office in Gotham. What makes you want to think, oh, what's going on here? Maybe, perhaps this is part of the detective story. Does this mean a political person gets murdered and it's up to Batman to find out who done it? As we've been hearing before, that the Batman was going to be a who done it mystery detective story. I could certainly see something along like that. Or it could just be because maybe Penguin is also a political candidate as well. Which doesn't that just give it away that is him? He's the villain. But we'll see how that plays out. But so yeah, nothing big, but it maybe gives you an idea of how this story is going to go. Next up is from Justin Shanlian at Batman Shanlian. He is being told that Birds of Prey is Kill Bill meets Thelma and Louise. I could certainly see the Kill Bill aspects because of how it looks and how, Margot Robbie really wanted to make it like a Quentin Tarantino film, so I could certainly see that, and it makes a lot of sense. Thelma and Louise, I guess that is the aspect of the characters just getting to know each other and becoming sisters, if you will, becoming very close, maybe even running away from the law or something like that. I don't know how that will work out because, some of them are police officers, but that is, you're not really surprised when you hear that. When you hear those two names, those two titles, you can okay, yeah, I get that. I got that from the trailers in itself. And for people who are trying to expect what Birds of Prey is going to be going in, maybe that's a good way to tell you what type of movie this is. Kill Bill, Thelma and Louise. And that's all you need to know when you finally get to watch Birds of Prey. But that's it. That's pretty much it for all the DC news, because it's been a pretty big day for the release of Snyder Cut fandom once again, as today was Wonder Woman. Everything is about Wonder Woman today. We poured out our love for Gal Gadot playing as Wonder Woman in Justice League, and we hope to see more of her scenes being portrayed as Wonder Woman in the Snyder Cut of Justice League. So today's event went spectacularly well. In fact, they're saying that our tweets in 1 hour reached up to 30.4 thousand tweets. Some even said they had numbers showing there's 34,000, but I was only able to Mick D help us grab this screenshot of 30.4 thousand tweets in 1 hour. Imagine if we pushed it for many hours, but no, we wanted to keep it at 1 hour. RT Snyder Cut says 1 hour, and that's what we're going to do. But, people kept going after that, here and there for the most part throughout the day. Now, unfortunately, though, we weren't able to actually get Gal Gadot to actually come out and say release the Snyder Cut with us, which to me in my opinion is a little disappointing, but I get it. She may be busy and stuff like that, but at least we got another woman pretty popular in the blogger sphere and on YouTube. Grace Randolph actually came to the rescue and tweeted this out. Since so many of you have asked so politely and your interest in seeing Snyder's original vision is so genuine, then I shall support you. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut at Warner Brother Pictures at HBO Max. Thank you so much, Grace Randolph, for coming out and actually tweeting that out. In fact, to the surprise to a lot of her 68.2 thousand followers on Twitter and possibly on lots more on YouTube. So I'm really happy that she came out and supported release the Snyder Cut in that fact. Yeah, it's not the first time she actually talked about the Snyder Cut and wanting to see the Snyder Cut. A lot of people tend to forget, but at least she came out during a time where the release of Snyder Cut was trending, that she decided to come out and give her full support in that as well. But what's even more interesting is this: when one of her fans, his name is Liam Foley, says, Grace Randolph, I have heard some that there is no Snyder Cut because he never had the chance to finish it. Any truth to that? And Grace Randolph replied to that and says, no, there is one, and it's complete. So, and we know that. We know Zack Snyder has been championing this whole time that it's done. It's ready to go. It's pretty much complete, And so this comes to no surprise to us, but does come to a big surprise to her 68.2K followers. And a lot of them in the comments, if you look and you browse through, they're actually interested. They even hashtag release the Snyder Cut as well, seeing that they trust her in her information. And that's what we need. We need these big, people with big followers to actually say it and promote it. And it just goes a domino effect down to their followers, and everybody's going to spread the word that Snyder Cut's for real. Snyder Cut exists. I know this sounds like a broken record because you and I know it exists. You and I know it's Zack Snyder says done, so we're gonna keep championing that. But it's great to see, great to hear that more people are coming out, are joining us in the sun, and that is the key here. That is why we do this. We have to get more people on our side, and they are coming on our side. In fact, there's a whole bunch just went out and followed at RT Snyder Cut. They reached 10,000 followers today. Incredible, amazing things at RT Snyder Cut you guys are doing, and I will fight for you guys till the end of the finishing line, right? So this is awesome stuff, and it's great. Thank you so much, Grace Randolph, for coming out to support hashtag release the Snyder Cut as well. In fact, there's another big name that may have supported the Snyder Cut, but we're not quite sure. And that person is none other than Ryan Reynolds at Van City Reynolds. Yes, Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool himself, liked. Now, people took a lot of pictures of this. He liked a tweet from Release the Snyder Cut at RT Snyder Cut saying, in 5 minutes we go hard, for 1 hour give it all you have, they are watching. And that is hilarious. I mean, that's like, oh my god, is he supporting the Snyder Cut? Well, Ryan, why don't you go out and say hashtag release the Snyder Cut? Why don't you come out and say it, just for probably, maybe even because Rob Liefeld supports it, maybe that's why he supports it, because he's Deadpool. But when an article came out from Heroic Hollywood saying Deadpool star Ryan Reynolds supports Justice League Zack Snyder Cut campaign, Ryan Reynolds actually responded to that article and says, honestly, I thought release the Snyder Cut was something you're supposed to yell while making love. My bad. But which is absolutely hilarious. Very much Ryan Reynolds. We never know if he's being truthful or not, because he is like the internet's #1 troll. But he is that is so funny, and at least he actually said release the Snyder Cut within his tweet at that. But thank you so much to actually giving a little bit more attention to the release of the Snyder Cut. Maybe even just interested parties would look that up and see what happens. I mean, he's got 14.9 million followers. Maybe it only takes 1,000 of those followers to say, what is this release of Snyder Cut? Look it up and actually maybe want to fight with us as well. So even a small percentage of that coming to our side is a big win. So I'm very happy for that as well. But yet there's still a lot of people who are saying that all this social media, this tweeting and stuff, what does that matter? What does it do anything, right? Why are people tweeting under other, other tweets, like when Warner Brothers puts out Scooby-Doo like today, and why is there a release of Snyder Cut below that and stuff like that. And for the most part, I used to agree until I'm like, F it, I'm just going to keep tweeting. I'm just going to, when something comes out, especially when it's HBO Max, I retweet it, says, well, why don't you talk about the release of Snyder Cut? There's another movie that you can use. I just do that now. And it seems very clear to even someone like Jay Oliva that it does matter, and they are paying attention, not just interns. This is what he had to say when he was responding to someone, which is deleted now. I guess that person deleted it, but this is what he had to say. I'm sure a lot of important Warner Brother execs are noticing what's trending on social media. Why would an intern have to bug a higher up about it? Don't you know what interns do at a studio? Execs have smartphones and are constantly on social media. By the way, I worked on the Scoob movie. So wow. Jay Oliva always shutting down these trolls. And it's fantastic. It's fabulous. I love that guy, especially putting out that I worked on the Scoob movie as well. I support the Scoob movie, but at the same time, I'm going to support the Snyder Cut as well. And no biggie, execs want to see what we're interested in, wants to see what the customer base is interested in. So that is, if you're still on the fence, that Warner Brothers execs are actually paying attention to Twitter, paying attention to social media, then this should calm your nerves, and this should actually put you in place. Like, this is happening. They are watching us. They are totally watching us. He's confirming it here, guys. Jay Oliva himself is confirming it here that Warner Brothers execs are looking on social media to see what our response is to the Snyder Cut. They are actively watching. They've seen us from before. Everything that we've tweeted from here on out, from the beginning, from 2 years worth. 2 years worth of calling out release of Snyder Cut are constantly being heard. It's not just interns. They have smartphones, and that's just the basic logic of it. He's right. They have smartphones. Of course they can bring up Twitter to see what people are talking about. I do it. You do it. We all do it. Jay Oliva does it. Zack Snyder's probably watching us now without even actively tweeting. Just because they're not saying anything doesn't mean they're not listening, and I think they're really listening this week. That is why RT Snyder Cut says this week is the most important, and they're really pushing hard on the Twitter trending, because I think the right parties are watching us on Twitter right now. So when you ask, well, why don't we do Instagram stuff? That's fine. You can go ahead and do that as well. Maybe you'll bring those people on Twitter, because I think at RT Snyder Cut may be right, and at having us trying to push these Twitter events must mean that the right parties are watching us on Twitter right now, and this is their chance to make a big difference, right? And today was wonderfully done. We've got release the Snyder Cut trending in 1 hour, over 30,000 tweets. Someone's watching, someone's counting the beans, if you will, and it's going to continue on throughout the week. So Wonder Woman Day 1, Wonder Woman is done tomorrow, or by the time you read this, it is the Flash event. All right, so this happens to start an hour after today's event, so don't don't be mistaken and tweet too early. This is an hour later, according to this schedule here. Ezra Miller doesn't have a Twitter account, so we don't have to tag him. You can say Ezra Miller, I believe. Ezra Miller, The Flash, and also make sure you hashtag, only one hashtag, hashtag release the Snyder Cut, and you tag AT&T or Warner Brother Pictures or Warner Media Group or HBO Max. Now, I've been told from RT Snyder Cut that you can tag one or two, but try not to do all four of those companies, and try just to do one or two, maybe change it up after every tweet. So that's something that you can do as well. And I might be considering this, but I might do this something later. I may show you a video of how to use a tweet deck to get scheduled tweets, every so many minutes, to have it automatically shoot out to Twitter, and then while that is doing automatically, you can go on Twitter, retweet, and post other things in the meantime, while TweetDeck or Buffer, or what I use, Hootsuite, to automatically tweet for me, but at the same time retweet. And so you're doing two things at once. Is almost like that. So a lot more traction, a lot more hashtagging going on when you do that, and I think that could make us a lot more effective. But let's see what happens for the Flash events. I hope we reach over 30,000 once again, maybe in 40 or 50. Who knows at this point? It's just to get the hype up, because for the main event is Sunday. If you're not able to tweet anytime this week, make sure you get your energy up. Make sure you get your monster drink, your coffee, whatever you need to do. Sunday is the big event. Let's make it happen. Let's bring it home, guys. Release the Snyder Cut.